Detroit, 1967. The unrest was among the most volatile and destructive in U.S. history. The chaos in the streets created palpable fear in the air. Imagine for a moment what Detroit's streets were like during that time. The faces of many Detroiters certainly reflecting a variety of emotions ranging from disbelief to uncertainty to hopelessness. But sometimes despair breeds opportunity. With hundreds of storefronts destroyed and business owners and community leaders alike having limited means to rebuild, a movement was launched. The Black United Fund of Michigan, creating a landscape of renewed possibilities, led by legendary community development activist and social worker Brenda L. Rayford. 15 courageous Detroiters united for impact in a small basement office on Detroit's west side to establish the Black Causes Association, later becoming the Black United Fund of Michigan, an alternative funding and resource center. Their vision was to provide funds and support to community-based nonprofits, including startups that focused on education, community development, cultural enrichment, and economic development in Michigan's diverse community. These startups and nonprofits seldom had the capacity to approach traditional funding sources to provide unique solutions to long-term problems. When it comes to organizations that have stood the test of time, the Black United Fund of Michigan is in a league of its own. For 50 years, BUF has been the fabric of this community, offering funding to thousands of organizations when no one else would. To date, BUF has provided funding for more than 1,000 organizations. Yes, you heard that correctly, more than 1,000 organizations. In 1987, Dr. Charles Wright received a check for $100,000, paving the way for the beautiful world-class edifice that bears his name. Several others, including DAPSAP, the Detroit Youth Choir, Jackets for Jobs, the Sphinx, and many, many others have been supported by BUF's commitment to enriching the community.
Congratulations, BUF, on 50 years. It's a point of pride for me that I was part of the beginning of the Black United Fund. Our initial organization was Black Causes, and it grew out of the spirit of self-determination and empowerment coming out of the civil rights movement. We were on a mission to harness the resources of our community to lift our community. I have great admiration for Ken and Brenda. It's also phenomenal, the organizations that BUF helped give a start. BUF gave seed money and support to organizations from DAPSAP to the Sphinx organization and to Charles Wright's early museum. BUF's contributions made an enduring mark and left much for the city of Detroit and the state.
Today, led by Ken Donaldson, BUF of Michigan continues to embrace the vision of its founders and has taken it to a whole new level. Under his leadership, BUF of Michigan shifted its emphasis away from mainly being a funding organization to being a program-oriented organization. The agency dedicated its efforts to partnering with others to ignite revitalization in the Metro Detroit community by impacting the lives of its youth. Through strategic partnerships with corporations, businesses, other organizations, and individuals, BUF implemented the innovative EYES, Empowering Youth for Everyday Success initiative. The initiative seeks to address the need to equip children and youth who are underrepresented, underserved, and at risk with resources and tools that help them succeed academically, financially, socially, and in career planning. Today, their signature youth programs include Project Aviation, Entrepreneurial and Employment Academy, Future Docs of Tomorrow, SNORMS, Financial Literacy, Achieve and Accelerate, Youth Careers Exploratory Academy, Youth and Wellness Program, and BUF 45. BUF knows that preparing young people for an ever-changing world must be a committed action, as they have done in the past and continue in the present. Through their innovative youth programming, the standard of excellence for the future will remain high for years to come.